Alright guys, this is Patton's Best, and older game, Avalon Hill came out, box is upside down, 87, and a good year indeed, 1987, because this game is innovative and wonderful and a solitaire gamer's lover. Last time I had this thing set up was maybe the second year I moved to New Orleans, and did a lot of tinkering with it. In fact, I ended up coming up with a game that I call Ostfront, and that's out there for anybody interested, which is from a German perspective, but squad level instead of a tank. So there's that. But anyway, this is something I thought I'd drag back out and stumble through, kind of give everybody a break from the Napoleonic miniature stuff, which I had, for those of you that have seen the trailer, have a big battle geared up, so there's that. But in the meanwhile, there's definitely other things we can do. So with this game, you get a number of things. Now, the first thing you'll notice, and I should preface this by saying I'm not sure if this is going to be a complete playthrough or a review or all of the above. I guess you'll just have to wait and see. That said, what we have here is a game that is a game that has a lot of charts. So you'll get let's see, 1, 2, 3 front and back sided charts, which for ease of play I've made copies of so I can have them all face up. I don't know if I can show you this from a better angle here. Probably not. But down here and off camera this way is all my charts face up. You also have charts on the, I will close in for this, on this, what is called the, well, it's the board, but it consists of a battle board and a movement board. You also have your sequence of play listed out here, which is not necessarily vital. The rule book has the sequence of play in it, and that is what I have tended in the past to follow through with. You also have your battle board placement tables, a spotting table, enemy vehicle gun appearance table, activation table, resistance table, and your vehicle table card as well. And then of course the battle board, which is kind of an abstract deal. You're not going to have your typical hex encounter board, and we'll get to that when we get to it. So a lot going on, but don't let that fool you. This is something that is graspable, that is playable, and I would argue after a playthrough or two, so you can get a kind of feel for the mechanics, is a friendly a game that is not going to leave you stumbling about and cursing and punching holes in the wall. So let's run through the rules here. I did do, before I started filming, a run through to refresh myself. However, the cool thing with this is, if I remember correctly, if you just head to, after preliminary stuff, which I still have probably some preliminary stuff to do, you can head right to the sequence of play and start stumbling through. So let's run through this. Your introduction breaks down the background. This is a recreation of the events of the 4th Armored Division. Now, what I have set up is the Firefly tank because it is a cool tank. Probably my favorite American tank, the Firefly. Or I guess you could argue it's a British tank, right? However, for those of you that are aficionados of the 4th Armored Division, you're going to go, hey, the Firefly was never in the 4th Armored Division. Well, you're right about that, but that is the beauty of this game, is they allow for some I don't know if you would call it ahistorical, but they allow for some tinkering that you can do, and the Firefly is one example of that. So that's what I have set up. But it's really meant to be played with just your basic M4. Then it breaks down the game equipment, which I've already somewhat done for you, particularly the charts and tables. You get a die cut counter sheet, which is this stuff here. This stuff here. And your after action report, which is this guy here. This is your particular information relevant to the crew proper of the tank. So you have your commander, gunner, loader, driver, assistant driver, and you're going to roll for their ratings. Then it has a kind of a time thing, starting at 0500, ending at 1900 now, broken down into 15-minute increments. And then we have ammo, main gun notes, victory points decorations, victory point totals, friendly force losses, among other things. So there's the after action report. Then it breaks down your game tables in play, how to locate them. Now I did make black and white copies so they're not color coded, but for ease of finding something, it will list the color of the chart that you can find it on. So that's kind of handy dandy there. You're going to use 2 die 10, sometimes 1 die 10, and sometimes 1d/2, which means you're going to roll 1 die 10, divide that by 2, and round up, whatever the case may be. I think maybe there's sometimes you will round down. And then it gets into your sequence of play, which is the meat of the game. Breaks down how to use the battle board, which is this guy here. How to win. You've got your victory points and victory, campaign game victory. You can run a full campaign game here with an included combat calendar. So all the historical dates, and they deal with, not focusing too well, they do deal with the 4th and what it was up to based on a particular date, starting with July and running through August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, and April. All the way through, you can run the entire deal, and again, it lists pertinent historical notes relevant to a particular day. So for instance, on 7/27, that is the Cobra breakout, and then it lists where they were, what they did. Looks like on September 1st we had some refitting going on, etc. So that's kind of cool as well. Then you have crew actions. So it says here your tank moves and fights according to the actions your crew and yourself perform during a single battle round. Each crewman may perform one action, and each crewman has specific actions that only he may do. And there are a few actions that all or several crewmen may perform. You have counters that you will assign on this board here that depict what a particular crew member is doing during a battle round. And then it breaks down those actions according to crew type. So your commander's actions include, you can direct movement, you can direct fire. Then it has your gunner actions, your loader actions, your driver actions, your assistant driver actions, and then any non-specific crew actions that I guess anybody can do, such as throw a smoke grenade, fire anti-aircraft machine gun, repair the anti-aircraft machine gun, replace your periscope, and fire a submachine gun. So these tanks are equipped with just old school handheld submachine guns that can be fired from ports from the tank or from turrets. Then it goes into your Sherman main gun fire, consisting of selecting a target, directing fire or direct fire or area fire, hitting the target, rate of fire, killing the target, ammo loads and reloads. Then it hops over to Sherman machine guns. From there we're going to Sherman movement, and that tells you how to use this movement board. So in a nutshell, your tank is here with a turret counter, but it's never going to leave this little hexagon in the center. When it moves, everything around it shifts. So if you move forward, things will shift one space behind you, etc. And that's clever. I'm not sure it needed to be done that way, but I appreciate that it was done that way. And again, I find it kind of clever and innovative. Then it goes into enemy units, anything from tanks to anti-tank guns to light armored vehicles, infantry, machine gun teams. Breaks down the activation of enemy units and placement. And as this is a solitaire game, you've got kind of a bot system that directs enemy actions, consisting of movement, fire versus infantry, fire versus any tank, and fire versus your tank. So, although we have a single tank, our tank, depicted on the battle board, bear in mind that we are not necessarily alone. To our left, to our right, off map, if you will, is a task force which we are a part of. Sometimes that task force will help us out. Sometimes that task force will take fire from the enemy. Sometimes we will take fire from the enemy. It all depends on the bot that runs the enemy. Then you have random events, and I always say random events can flavor a game quite nicely. You have passages of time, friendly artillery, enemy artillery, mines, Panzerfaust attack, harassing fire, friendly advance, enemy reinforcement, enemy advance, and flanking fire. Then we go into ammunition. Of course, with this game you have various ammunition types consisting of armor-piercing, high-explosive, white phosphorus, hexachlorothane. Anybody know what that is? Smoke. That's your smoke. And for special circumstances, HVAP, which is high velocity armor piercing rounds. Then it breaks down loading ammo, segues into machine gun ammo, and then spotting. So you can't fire at something unless you can see it. And I'm a big fan of this rule. More games should have it. It's realistic. It's necessary. Some people may not like it, but again, it's realistic. So when enemy units appear on the board, we do not necessarily see them until we spot them. Then it goes into smoke and crew casualties. This is probably my least favorite aspect of the game, and that's because I'm a weirdo. I don't like the scoped in attention that is given to each particular crew member by way of this. So bear with me here, but that's just me. It doesn't make the game any less of a game, but I'm nitpicking here, admittedly, but it's a thing that, again, in my opinion, is a little too scoped in, but that's just me. So then you have the campaign game proper with your combat calendar, as I've already mentioned here. And then the scenario types. So this will also determine the posture, if you will, of the enemy. So you have advance, a battle scenario, or you could have a counterattack scenario. And then you have the expected enemy resistance, and this will determine, if I remember correctly, the volume and how often enemy troops will appear. So ranging from light, medium, and heavy. So you can imagine expected enemy resistance at the heavy would mean that we would run into them frequently and at a high volume. Breaks down each type, advance, battle, and counterattack. Talks about time, and then talks about something called advancing fire. And when you enter a new area, which is what consists of this movement board here, is all areas, you can prep an area that you enter with advancing fire. Talks about artillery support and airstrikes, tank replacement, and then again for campaign game aficionados, you have promotions, decorations, refitting, and it talks about hints on play, kind of a strategy, if you will, and fuel, which is optional, and your British Firefly variant, which is what I have set up here. A couple of specific rules pertaining strictly to the British Firefly, such as the Firefly tank will begin all engagements stopped, hull down to provide cover fire, and what else? When rolling for non-ambush enemy action, it's going to tweak the results of that roll. Why? Because it says this represents the German tactic of trying to knock out Firefly tanks as soon as they were identified. So they recognize these guys for what they are, dangerous, formidable foe. And then it goes into introductory engagements. So for somebody that is just starting out, don't feel overwhelmed. You don't have to hop into the deep end of the pool. You can just stick a toe in the shallow end and have fun with an introductory engagement. And it lists certain ways of going about this. So you will decide for yourself whether this engagement is part of an advanced battle or counterattack, the level of enemy resistance, which would be light, medium, or heavy. Then there's a step you will delete and another step you will delete or skip, if you will. Then you need to decide for yourself which type of map area the engagement is taking place in. So there are 4 types of areas here, A, B, C, and D, and it really pertains to the density of an area. So everything from woods to farmland to city or village, and that's going to also affect various things during a battle round. So there's that, and that is the rules. Now you're looking at about 19 pages of rules, less probably, because a lot of one page just describes what you've purchased. Another page has a table of contents, so minus 2 pages there. Your sequence of play, which again is a chart basically, so you can argue whether or not that is a rules. It's just something that you will simply use each time you play. So again, it's not something that is over burdensome in my opinion. If you're new to wargaming, there may be some intimidation involved, but again, if you're willing to sit down and learn the thing, the payoff is fantastic. Trust me on that. So let me pause this and get where I need to be and come back to you. Alright, so right off the bat, we're going to consult our sequence of play because, again, if you're new to this, you're going to maybe perhaps be overwhelmed and not be sure where to start. So just take a deep breath, check out your sequence of play 4.0, and it tells you what you need to do. So first, combat calendar check. Examine the combat calendar for the next day of possible combat if you're just beginning, and roll 1 die. Now remember, we are doing the abbreviated, I guess that's what we're doing, introductory engagement. So we are going to delete decide for yourself 4.1, which we have done, and I say it's going to be medium. Will be our expected enemy level of resistance. Not too little, not too much. And then we'll go to 4.2, morning briefing. Record the date and scenario code. Record the model Sherman tank you command. Roll and tank replacement table if you need a new tank. Well, we don't need that. Place the correct tank card for your tank on the battle board. We've done that already. Thank you very much. Give your tank a name if it doesn't already have one. I have not named it. This is the tank that goes without name. Record the names and ratings of your tank crew. I have not done that either. Consult the weather table and record the weather. Ooh, our first chart. All right, get used to this, guys. This is the engine of the game is these charts here. So where the hell's the weather chart? Up here. And I don't know the color because I've made a copy of it. We're going to consult it. So we are in July. Well, we're going to roll 2 die 10 and see what we get. 44. What's the weather here for 44? It looks like it's clear. I can see for miles and miles. Well, do I have a weather marker, or do I need one? And you can have everything from overcast to mud to rain to fog, falling snow, ground snow, deep snow. So that's all quite interesting. And the other thing I would add is none of these counters are back printed. Well, that's not true. Some are, but the majority, I'd say 90% of them, aren't back printed, which I don't, not a judgment thing, just an observation. I'm looking for a marker to mark the weather, so I'll just use one of these. Weather's clear. Done. What's next? Load our ammo. Record the number of rounds of each gun ammo type you are carrying. Consult the ammo tables for special loads and extra ammo requirements. Load your ready rack. And so we need to go to 16.2 because we are less than familiar with that. 16.2 says, Loading ammo. Ammo is loaded into your tank during step 4.26 of the sequence of play. Consult the ammo tables for the amount of each type available. Roll 1 die on the extra ammo table to determine if you are required to carry extra ammo. If not required to carry extra ammo, you may voluntarily carry up to 30 additional main gun rounds and 10 additional machine gun boxes. On the tank card, mark the number and types of rounds loaded into your ready rack. With the ready rack rounds left markers, reloading from the ready rack during battle increases the chance of achieving rate of fire. Each Sherman variant has a ready rack limit that cannot be exceeded. I'm not sure that told me anything. Roll 1 die on the extra ammo table. So the ready rack for this Firefly goes up to 5. And I'm going to assume that is what we have. This is probably incorrect. Again, I will also throw out this disclaimer. Do not watch any video I do for the proper way to play. I will make mistakes. I will intentionally skip things. I will house rule something if I can't find the actual rule, etc. So there's that. So the extra ammo table, we need to find that. Here we go, ammo tables. So we do need to roll. Looks like, really? So ammo availability is unlimited. High explosive is unlimited for all guns. Armor piercing is unlimited for all guns. We can't roll for white phosphorus. The smoke rounds, let's see, base initiative is 75. We can't roll for those. High velocity armor piercing, we can roll for that. So we roll one die and see how many of those we get. Those are those super duper heavy duty ones. 2 of those, right? We rolled a 2, so we got one round of those. But that's because those things are brutal. So that's our extra ammo. Notes. Let's see. That's our ammo tables. To determine how many extra rounds of main gun ammo you are ordered to load into your tank, roll 1 die. I get an 8. What does that mean? That means in an advanced scenario we have 20/10. So that is 20 main gun rounds and 10 extra 30 caliber machine gun ammo boxes. Where do I mark that at? Spotting restrictions 2010. I'll just mark it here. Ammo. Alright, so I'm done fooling with the ammo. Load ammo. And again, this is something that there's things that you will have to do admittedly at the beginning of the game that you won't necessarily have to do as each round progresses, right? Our time check. Determine the hours of sunrise and sunset for the current month. On the after action report, block out the time before sunrise and after sunset. So, determine the hours of sunrise and sunset. Where is that at? Determine the hours of sunset. Timetables. Here's time. So that's our time elapsed. I don't know if that's what we want. No, that is what we want. So it is July. So here's our sunrise sunset chart. That is sunrise at 5, sunset at 19:15. So that's the full range there. No short daylight days. Anything else? Also at the beginning of the game, some time will have elapsed. So we need to roll for that. We're going to roll 1 die, divide by 2. We get, rounding up, 4.5 is 5. And a 5 on this chart is, round down, plus 1 hour past sunrise. Well, round down, I'm sorry. So that would be 4. Plus 1 hour past sunrise. So now we're what? What is this? Determine the hours of sunrise and sunset, which I've done. Determine time and ammo already expended. This will determine the number of hours already passed. So the number of hours, not 15-minute increments. So you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? We've already lost 4 hours of daylight. Plus 1. I don't know what that means. Determine time. Okay, yeah, this rule would determine the number of hours already passed and the amount of ammo already expended before your scenario begins. How much ammo have we expended already? Ammo expended equals 1 die. Okay, let's roll this. Jesus, 10 is 20. Are you kidding me? I'm re-rolling that. Sorry, I'm cheating here, but I think that would have left me with nothing. So I cheated and I rolled again. I'm calling a mulligan. 6 times 2, but I still think that seems awful high. That would mean we're out of high explosive. I protest. So the ammo expended says 1 die times 2. And that's for high explosive. I rolled a 6 times 2 is 12. I mean, based on that, we're out of high explosive. Fine, whatever. I've rolled it twice, and each time I was out. So I guess it wants me to be out of high explosive. And whatever I roll is how much of the 30 caliber. No, I'm sorry. We've got our high explosive here. So what was that? It was 6 times 2 is 12. What's 12 from 20? 8. So we're actually at 8 high explosive. And we need to roll this for our machine gun. 6 is where we're at. So we have expended some ammo. We're about 4 hours into the day. And I kind of like that instead of just starting as a clean slate. It makes it more realistic. Now we prepare for battle, or do we? Time check. We did that. Remember, we have our abbreviated step system here. We were supposed to not do the time check, but I did it anyway. Now you guys know how to do it, or you don't. 4.4. Determine your tank's deployment from the deployment table. Now it says remember, for the British Firefly, the begins all engagements stopped, haul down. So we need a haul down marker. Where the hell is a haul down marker? Oh God. You don't want to watch me search for this. I'm going to pause while I look for a hold down marker. Alright, I found a hold down marker. It only took 32 minutes. That's not true. The little brown colored guys are your movement markers, and it says hold down. Trust me on that. So we mark this hold down, I guess. He is Brett hold down. Now what? We determined our tank's deployment. Mark if the tank is moving, or hold down. We just did that. If your tank is the lead tank, record this fact in the notes section. I don't know if my tank is the lead tank. When was that? When would that have been determined? Anyway, moving on. Hatches. Place open hatch markers and hatch boxes on the tank card. For any crewmen you don't want buttoned up. So I have everybody buttoned up but the commander. He does have an open hatch. He's hanging out getting some fresh air. The gun load. Mark the type of round you want loaded into the main gun before any action begins by placing the gun load marker on the tank card in the correct ammo type box. Oh, for criminy sake. I have high explosive in the breech. That's what I have, because I'm inspecting infantry, not vehicles. Not armored fighting vehicles. Then we have tank and turret orientation. Place your Sherman tank counter for the tank model you are using in the center of the battle board, which I've done. If you want the turret to face a different sector than the tank itself, Place a turret marker on the tank counter accordingly. Everybody's facing forward. If the loader is buttoned up or does not have a hatch, mark the sector he will be searching by placing the loader spot marker just outside the long-range zone of the sector. So, if the loader is buttoned up or does not have a hatch. The loader has a hatch, but it is buttoned up. So I need a loader spot marker. Lord only knows what that is. Loader spot marker. Do I pause? Or can I find it quickly? Loader spot marker. That's got to be, I think it's one of these orange and white guys. I will pause while I look for the loader spot marker. I have located the loader spot marker, and I need to place that on my forehead. The loader spot marker is placed just outside the long-range zone of the sector. Just outside of it? What are you talking about? Just outside of the long range. So this battle board here, right, is broken down into ranges, as you can see here. Close range, medium range, and long range. And what is the scale for this? It does tell you that. To help you get a better mental perspective, if I can find this quickly. Oh, for the movement board it is farm buildings and fields, villages, and woods. And I'm not finding it, but it does mention it in here. So, sorry about that. Where are we at here, for the love of God? Mark the type of hatches, tank and turret orientation, loader. Place U.S. control markers in sectors 1, 2, and 3 on the battle board. So, see, it's telling you everything you need to do. There's nothing left to conjecture. Well, not much. So it may not feel like it, but in essence, we are playing right as of now. Even though it's telling us what to do, which is fine. Mark the current weather with the current markers in the top left corner of the battle board, which we have done. Remember, it was clear, and it's still clear. Movement sequence. Here we go. Are we doing movement sequence? Or do we delete that step? We should probably do it anyway. It says delete it, but I don't know that I want to delete it. Let's see what it says. Around the edge of the movement board, 10 areas are numbered 1 through 10. Fancy that. Roll 1 die to determine which of the 10 is the starting area for the scenario. Mark the area with the start area marker. Let's go ahead and do this so you guys know what it entails. We're going to roll 1 die 10, right? Right. And determine which of the 10 is the starting area for the scenario. Mark the area with the start area marker and place the task force marker there also. Really. We rolled a 3. Yeah, now we gotta find a task force marker. I don't know what that looks like. Oh, here it is. So, looks like to our left, the left of our tank is the bulk of our task force. What else? Next, on the exit areas table, so that would be roll 1 die and cross-reference the number. Am I doing this right? Hold on. On the movement board. Oh, Jesus. See, we're not using the movement board because we're doing a truncated engagement. But I'm going to do this anyway. So 3 would be our starting area for the scenario. And then we need to roll for our exit area. On the exit areas table, roll. Okay, all right. I remember doing this. The exit area table. Where is this? Range table, table 2, starting exit area. Exit area. What the hell? Looking for the exit area table. And I don't know where it is. Spotting table. Battle board. So range table. Did I mention there's a lot of charts? Let me pause while I find the exit table. Alright, so for future reference, if you look at the back, we have a Patton's best list of tables. The exit area table is listed M, which is the main, I think that's what it stands for, main board, or the movement board. And it's right here. So if our starting area is 3, we cross-reference this like a combat results table style deal. We roll 1 die, and we get an 8, which brings us to an exit area of 10. And they have to do it this way so that you're forced to move at least a nice distance from entering to exiting. Otherwise, you could roll a 4 and you just would go right off the map. So that's why they do it like that. Does that make sense? So this way, right, we're forced to move through a certain number of areas. And for each area we move into, there's the possibility, depending on the level of resistance, light, medium, or heavy, level expected resistance, of running into foes along the way. And this is very cool. I like the strategic and tactical kind of piggybacking each other in the same game. All right, moving along, a sequence of play. Now, check any one area adjacent to your task force for estimated enemy strength by consulting the resistance table. Mark the area for either. Now, we've already said it would be medium, right? So we don't need to do this, but otherwise you would need to roll for the level of expected resistance and check any one area adjacent to your task force. Let's say, do we have level of resistance markers? Surely we do. Why would we not? What do they look like? Ah, there we go. So we need a medium, do we not? On the backs of these US control markers are our markers. So we will put medium here. Then what do we do? We'll go to the operations phase. Begin the scenario by performing one of the following operations. Each operation takes time. Consult the time use table to see how much time is used for each and mark off that time on the after action report. Continue performing operations one after another, recording the time used for each. When daylight runs out, the scenario ends. So here's some things we can do that eat up time. We can check any one additional adjacent area for estimated enemy strength by rolling on the resistance table. Consult the time use table to see how much time is used for each. So we have to do these by performing one of the following operations. And it lists 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So based on that, begin the scenario by performing one of the following operations. Call for artillery support. Call for an airstrike. Attempt to resupply. Enter adjacent area by moving the task force marker into the area. Can we just do that? Let's move into our medium expected area of resistance medium area, which is also, what is that, A? Which is, I don't know. A would be farm buildings and fields. Now, how much, let's see. Do we want to use advancing fire? Let's not use advancing fire. If not, go to step. Consult resistance table for possible battle. So we could have used advancing fire. We did not. We didn't mess with artillery. Consult resistance table for possible battle. Okay. Here's our resistance table here. If there was no resistance marker in the area when you entered, first determine the area's resistance and then check for battle. And then it tells you what to do if no battle occurs, if battle occurs. So let's roll on our medium expected resistance for the day. And 1 die. And we roll a 5. And I don't know what any of that means. Basically, we're doing what we've already done, are we not? Consult resistance table for possible battle. But I'm not seeing... Oh, okay. So we rolled a 5, right? And this is area A, so rolls in area A are +1. And it says combat occurs on a 6+. So 5 + 1 is a 6 in my book. I would have called it a battle anyway, so I can show you guys how that works. Alright, so we have a battle that was in fact legally triggered in area A. And what do we do next? If battle occurs, see, it tells you everything you need to know. If battle occurs, mark off 15 more minutes of time, which we will do here. Remember, we've already used up 4 hours of the day doing something. What, I don't know. So we mark 15 minutes of time off. And then we go to let's see. I just lost my place here. Oh my god. Alright, if the and go to step 4.6. Okay, sorry, I lost my... So we go straight to the battle step on the battle board, which is this guy here. Place advancing fire markers available to you if employing advancing fire. Well, we didn't use advancing fire. Consult the activation table for the number and general types. This is the most exciting part of the game for me, is determining what we've run into. That's just, it's awesome. Consult the activation table. So, C12.2. Well, why? Well, I can just use activation table. Here we go. We're going to roll 2 die and multiply that by 3 for our medium resistance level. 2 dice. We rolled, let's do this again and just pre-designate blue as 10s. We got an 89. And really, we multiply that by 2? No, we don't. Well, it looks like we've run into, this is an advanced scenario, but regardless, we would have, either way, we would have run into an SPG. Where is that at? Where's my stuff? Here we go. Self-propelled gun. Anyone? Bueller? Where's a self-propelled gun? SPG. Special Police Group. Looking for an SPG, which is what we've run into. Now remember, just because we put him on the map here, we haven't necessarily spotted him. Let me go back to okay. The specific types of tanks, self-propelled guns, and anti-tank guns are not known until identified during the spotting phase of the battle round sequence. So we don't know what it is. What the hell do I put? I'll put one of these guys. So now we got to determine where this guy's at, right? Where on the battle board is he? Battle place enemy units according to the battle board placement table. Battle board placement table. Determine the sector in which the enemy unit will appear by rolling one die. We rolled an 8. The enemy unit is an SPG. We rolled an 8. He's at long range. Okay, sorry about that. So he's as far away as he can be. Which I guess is good because that gives us time to try and spot him before he's right on us. Although he may not come right on us. Let's see. What's next? That's it. That's battleboard placement table. So vehicle facing. It says 6 is what we rolled, so we've got his front towards us. And okay, let me pause this and make sure I'm doing this right. Alright, I gotta go in depth a little bit on the placing units here. 12.3 consists of up to 4 steps. So the sector to place the unit in, the range, the unit's facing, and then the terrain. So first the sector. The sector to place a unit in is determined by a 1 die roll as explained in rules section 5.12. 1 die roll. The sectors are now, okay, beginning bottom right. For roll 1 to 3, the enemy appears only in the corresponding sector if no U.S. control, blah, blah. So we roll a 4, that means he's in sector 4/5, this sector. He is front towards us, we've already determined that. What's the range that he's at, right? To determine the range, roll 1 die on part 1 of the battle board placement table. He is at Jesus. He's a SPG. Rolled a 5. He is at medium range, in fact. And vehicle facing, we already determined. Let's make sure it's right, though. Roll 1 die on part 2. Vehicle facing. Yeah, we already did that correctly. And then the terrain. Vehicle targets, terrain type. We're in A. We roll 1 die. We've got a 1. He's hauled down. Really? Well, I don't know. That's bad for us, right? This guy is hauled down. Whatever he is, he's about to upper left, hauled down, facing us front towards us. What is next? Resolve advancing fire, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Consult to activate placing it. We placed our enemy units. Now we resolve advancing fire, artillery support, and airstrikes if applicable, which they're not. Next, roll 1 die for possible ambush. Let's do it. We rolled a 9. No ambush. If no ambush, go to step 4.7. And if it was raining, falling snow, or fog, there will be modifiers for that ambush roll, as there should be. So step 4.7, battle round sequence, smoke depletion phase, not in play. Spotting phase, here we go. Determine what your crew can see by consulting the spotting table for each crewman. Mark those enemy units spotted or hidden with spotted and hidden markers. Determine the specific unit type for any unit identified. So, spotting table, if the roll is less than or equal to the crew member's rating, the target is spotted. If the roll is less than half of the rating, the target is also identified. Alright, die roll. So let's start with our commander. We'll roll for him. Less than 5, well, we've got 2, and that's less than half, so he's got it. Modifiers. He's not buttoned up. +2. Commander spotting from Vision Coppola. No. Oh, +1. Target in one's building or hold down. +1. So that's still... We're still good there. During falling snow, no. Per smoke, no. Small target, no. Large target. Well, how do we know if it's a small target or a large target? It hasn't been spotted. Very large target. Also, I would add an unmodified roll of 1 always spots the target and identifies it. Unmodified rolls of 9 or 10 always mean the target is hidden. Tank card, the sectors, can spot in. Spotting restrictions. Commander can spot at any one sector, so we're good. All sectors, actually. I'm going to say he's spotted and identified, so let's figure out what it is. But there's some little bit of legwork there to determine that, some die rolls and charts to consult. Let's see, where's my ruler at? Spotting phase. Determine the specific unit type for any unit identified. See 17.4. Let's figure out what this guy is. Ready? So there's a way to do this instead of that generic marker I used. It says when enemy tank, SPG, or anti-tank gun units are activated in first place on the battle board, they are placed with their red side up. But I don't know. So like that guy is a SPG. That guy is a... Oh, here we go. So SPG, red side up. We'll go right there. Let's do this properly, shall we? That is how you do that. Then what? All unidentified tanks are assumed to be blah blah blah. When one of those units is successfully identified, consult the enemy vehicle gun appearance table. Enemy vehicle gun appearance table. This is an... Well, let's roll a die and see what it is. We rolled a 1 for SPG. It is a Stug 3G. Now we gotta find a Stug 3G. One of my favorite AFEs. There we go. We run into a Stug. Hold down, facing us. What's next? Now we go to... Let's see, unidentified units. Blah, blah, blah. Back to our sequence of play. Find our spot. Orders phase. 1. Hatch segment. Open or close hatches by placing or removing open hatch markers on the tank card. I'm buttoning up as the commander, so everybody's buttoned up. 2. Orders segment. Mark crew battle actions by placing crew action markers in the crew boxes on the tank card. Place only 1 marker per crewman. Ammo reload segment. Okay, so where's all my possible crew actions? Let's figure out what we want to do here. Commander, what do you want to do? Commander wants to not do that, not do that, not do that. We're not throwing a smoke grenade, we're not firing a submachine gun, and we're not replacing the periscope. Do we want to pivot tank? Possibly. Who does that? The driver does, so that will be good for him. Fire, and no, we're not firing that. Repair, no, not using that. We're going to throw the actions here. Pass ammo, possibly. Do we want to reverse? No. We're already hauled down, but we're facing the wrong damn way. Fire main gun, yeah, that might be a good idea if we can. Fire bow machine gun, no. Repair, no. Do we want to go forward? No. Fire a mortar? No, I'm good on that. Throw another smoke grenade? Nope. I'm running through all the options here. Direct fire. Possibly. Periscope replacement? No thanks. Rotate turret. No, here's options, right? Change gun load, which we probably need to do because we have high explosive in there right now. Repair main gun. No, I don't need to do that. Repair main, nope. So, here's what we need to do. As the commander, I will direct fire. Could possibly be doing this wrong, but that's what he's doing. As the gunner, I can't fire the main gun because he's not, they're not lined up to fire at him. But he can rotate the turret. You know what? Let's rotate the turret. Let's just do that. Gunner, rotate the turret. That leaves the driver and the loader. What do they want to do? The driver, I take that back. The driver wants to pivot the tank. The gunner's not going to rotate the turret. Assistant driver, change gun load. Yes, please. Thank you, God. From explosive to armor piercing. So there's our actions, right? What do we do next? Ammo reload segment. Mark ammo reload if firing main gun by placing... Well, okay, that doesn't apply. Corrections phase. Now we've resolved these actions. Tank movement. Resolve on movement tables. See, tank movement may require the shifting of enemy units on the battle board. Tank movement. Tank movement table. Where is our tank movement table? Tank movement table. Where is tank movement table? I could use that little chart that tells me what I'm looking for, couldn't I? But that would be too easy. Alright, where's our tank movement table? Uncle, I cry uncle. Tank. Movement tables, oh. Orange. Let's see. Doesn't help me because I'm using black and white copies. Because I'm an idiot. You know what? Let's just... I'm going to make color copies of these at work, I think. I guess this is orange. It looks kind of orangish. Movement table, part 1, effect on Sherman. Wound stable, okay, part 2, effects on us. Forward, or here's what we did. We could go forward or reverse. Forward to hold down, reverse to hold down. So I guess turning left would be a forward move. If we go forward to hold down, we need to roll for any effect from that move, right? So roll a die. We got a 9, which is probably bad. No, we need to roll another die. 92 is what we got. No, we have modifiers. Driver's rating. Minus the driver's rating. Our driver's rating is not very good. He has a 4. So it's 88. What does that bring us to after that? 88. Commander's rating of commander directing movement from open hatch. He's not directing movement, he's directing fire. So that's great. Commander's rating of commander directing movement from vision cupola. Tank has no. Driver buttoned up? Of course he is. Now we're at 97 again. Oh, I'm sorry, we're at 93. Now we're at 93. It just went up. Either way, this probably is bad for the Firefly. No snow and no mud, so forward to hold down 93 is no accident. Hey, we're good. Now it does have fuel that we expend. And I probably did all this wrong because all I did was turn, and we're treating this as forward movement, which technically it wasn't forward movement. It was just a turn. But the tank moved, but there's no column for turn. It's just forward or reverse, forward to hold down or reverse to hold down. And let me pause and suss this out. Here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to assume, based on what is written in the rules and what isn't written in the rules, that the only movement you can do per se is forward or reverse. So that would be a turret turning thing that I needed to do. I turned my turret towards that tank. So let's replace this rotate turret for the gunner. Where's the gunner? Gunner's rotating the turret. I'm not pivoting. Well, see, it says pivot tank though. So I can pivot. I guess that's not a move if you pivot. We'll consider that not a move if you pivot. It's not technically a move. Let's call it that. But are we still hold down? All right, we pivoted the tank. Let's not overcomplicate this. But I'm going to interpret that as not a move because we didn't move forward or reverse. We just pivoted. That's not a move. It's a pivot. So I pivot. So that was our action. I mean, we can't fire. Can we pivot and fire? Let's see. Fire main gun. Can you pivot and fire? We pivoted. Let's go back to our crew actions. Fire main gun. Subtract gunners. Blah blah blah. Where's our driver? Pivot tank. Tank may change facing to any sector. Pivoting tank loses hold down position. We pivoted, but we lost our hold down position. Fine, whatever. I want my front armor, not my side armor exposed. That was his action. He's done, right? The loader is changing, so we can't fire it because he had to change. So here's what we did. I don't know if I'm confusing everybody, but we pivoted, lost hold down, and changed from high explosive to armor piercing. Now it's the Germans' turn. That is my interpretation of this. Let's go back to sequence of play and see if they agree. Crew actions phase. We conducted our crew actions. We cannot fire the main gun because I already explained why. We don't need to fire machine guns. That would be superfluous. After all crew actions are resolved, go to the enemy action phase. Enemy action phase. Roll an enemy action table for each enemy unit on the battle board. Where's the enemy action table? Enemy action. This is enemy action advanced scenario. We have a SPG. We're going to roll 2 dice to see what he does. Blue die is the 10s. He rolled a 94. What is with these high rolls? And what does that mean for me? So it says he fires. Says he fires at lead tank. Now, I don't know if you remember or not, but there was a point earlier in the game where I needed to verify if I was the lead tank or not, and I was leaning towards yes. So I'll stick with that and say we were the lead tank. So he's going to fire at the lead tank. So how does he do that? All right, let's see how that happens. Friendly is random. When your tank is a target, attack. What about lead tank? Because there's a difference between it says your tank. Here's what he fires at: any tank, your tank, or lead tank. Now I rolled on lead tank, but earlier it gave me the option to be the lead tank. So if I was the lead tank, does that mean he would fire at me? I think it does. Let's go back here. Enemy action, roll for each moving combat. Roll on enemy fire combat table for attacks not directed at your tank. Record any friendly casualties on the... Let's assume he's firing, just for sake of example, right? Let's assume he's firing at our tank. Let's just do that, okay? Roll on enemy fire combat table for attacks not directed at your tank. Well, what about fire directed at your tank? When your tank is a target, attacks from enemy tanks. Roll on the enemy AP to hit table to determine if your tank is hit. What, go straight to that? Okay. Enemy AP table. I think I'm on it. Enemy, here we go. AP table to hit. AP table to hit. Roll on the enemy AP to hit table. Where's that? Enemy AP to hit is blue. B is blue. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I guess I need the color coding after all. You know, I feel bad for colorblind people that try to play games. I would just give up. Let's see. Enemy to hit AP table. Enemy AP to hit table. Jesus. Alright, so roll on the enemy AP to hit table. Can I say that 5 more times? If the shot misses, let's see, determine if your tank is hit. If the shot, okay, let's see if it's hit, alright? Base number to hit. This is at, he's at medium range. What's his gun size? 75L. What do we roll? So what do we need to roll? Roll the number shown or less. Thank you. Blue, 72 at medium. He needed an 89 or less. Well, he obviously hit us. Any modifiers? It doesn't matter. We got hit. So then we go to enemy AP to kill table to see if the shell penetrates your tank. Enemy AP to kill table. Roll the number shown or less to kill your tank. Oh, great. Oh, Jesus. 27 is what we rolled. Son of a... Armor class. What is our armor class? I don't know. Armor class is 2. And it's on the front. So I have to determine what I'm reading here. I need clarification of what I'm doing by way of knocking out my tank. If the shot hits, roll in the hit location table to see where the shot hit your tank. Okay. Where did it hit my tank? Roll 1 die for each hit by gunfire or Panzerfaust attack to determine location of hit. We rolled a 10, so he hit the track. He's not hull down. Normal target. He hit the track. If a track hit automatically disables the vehicle, mark it with a thrown track marker. Do not roll on its kill table for a track hit. Okay, so what he did was hit our track and disabled us. And we won't roll on the to kill table. I'm simply disabled. I saw earlier a thrown track marker. But here's the fun part, right? We get to fire back. And I have a good feeling Come on, where's it at? Where's our thrown track marker? These are double-sided. The German tank waits while we locate a thrown track marker. How kind of him. Where would that be at? Thrown track. Thrown track? Bogged? Is this what I want? Thrown track, yay! Where does this go? Let's put it here. Thrown track. I'm firing. New actions, right? So we have commander directing fire. The loader has loaded, so he doesn't need to do. Gunner is firing the main gun. Driver doesn't need to do anything. Assistant driver doesn't need to do anything. Let's see what we can do. We don't need to move again, so there's that. Here we go. All right, now. Sherman main gun fire. Select a target. Direct fire or area. We want direct fire. Hitting the target. Determine whether the target fired on is hit by consulting the correct row of the to-hit table. To-hit table. To kill. To kill, to kill, to kill. To hit. To-hit table. To-hit target. Direct fire. For 76. Base number to hit. Let's roll it. We rolled a 33 and we went base number or less. That is still medium range. We got it. Dice roll modifiers. Let's see if anything makes it go up. Oh Jesus, we're buttoned up, so it goes up 10. So now we're at 43. We still hit it though. Anything else? We didn't do acquired target. It's our first shot though, so we wouldn't have acquired target modifier. Target is not moving. We're not firing, okay. Well, it'd be plus 10 if we were firing at an 88 anti-tank gun. Plus 20, wow, Jesus. No. So we could have fired the last round because there's a modifier for Sherman. I mean, it's a plus 25 modifier, but a Sherman moving or pivoting can fire, but you get a hefty modifier. You know what I forgot to do? No, I didn't. Okay. All right, so we did hit it. Now what did we do? Did we kill it? Where did we hit it? Hit location table. Roll one die. That's one. We hit the turret. Nice. No, it's hull down. We still hit the turret. Then what? To kill infantry, no. To kill for critical hits. Armor piercing to kill. Which do we use here? There's armor piercing to kill, okay. It's the front, it's the turret, it's a SPG. Where is it? No, it's a Stug. So there's three numbers I'm looking at. I need to know what each number represents. There's a, for Stug 3 on the front, there's a 72/58/42. What do those represent? First, second, and third numbers. Firing, Sherman main gun fire. Direct fire, I say determine the correct roll to determine whether the target fired on his hit. We did that, the correct roll, blah, blah, blah. If a hit is scored, no. If you achieved a rate of fire with your two-hit roll, you may immediately fire again. We forgot to do that, so there's a mistake. Remember to check your rate of fire when firing, because we could possibly have been able to fire again. And after your first shot at target, place an acquired target 1 marker on it, because that will help you if you fire at it again, and I believe if he doesn't move. So, yeah, place acquired target on him, but more importantly, killing the target. For each hit scored versus vehicles. There are separate tables for each gun firing armor-piercing versus vehicle targets. All tables show a number for each type of enemy vehicle for 3 different facings. Okay, so front, side, and rear. So that's what those are. And this would be for the Stug for the front. Well, that doesn't make sense because it says front, side, and rear. Oh, at 3 different ranges. Okay. Close, medium, and long. So that's what that is. I was going to say, I'm confusing the 3 numbers for the front, side, and rear, but those are listed in columns. So we're in the front column, and the first number would be close, right? Second number would be medium. Okay, yes. We're at medium, so we need a 58 or less. Blue die is the 10s. We did not get it. We only rolled a 95. What about modifiers? I'm not seeing any modifiers. How about that? Well, we definitely missed. What about if we had to have... Achieving rate of fire allows your crew to immediately fire another shot. When a hit roll is made firing the main gun, the number rolled also determines whether the gun has achieved rate of fire. If the roll is low enough, 30 or less for a 75, 20, you may immediately elect to... Let's see if we can roll 20 or less. We're doing this incorrectly, but we forgot to do it. We got to do it. But we did not get it. So we didn't get rate of fire. So we can't fire again. Now it's the... remember, we have a blown track. Now it's the German's turn again. Let's see what he does next, and then we'll call it. Let's go back to his actions. So enemy action. This is an advanced scenario. Dice. It is an SPG tank. I rolled a 53. Really? He's going to back up. Why? He moves back. Don't ask me why. He's going to lose his hull down. He moves back, and that acquired target goes away. That's why he moved. See, that AI here is smart. It knew that it had an acquired target modifier on it and moved back so it would lose that. That's what it did, really? Okay, fine. Well, let's fire again then. Did we mark the usage of our ammo here? That was down to 4 on armor piercing. This time he's at long range, but I'm going to try it one more time. Let's fire to hit. Now, does he get a modifier for moving? I don't know. I just don't know. Hit location. To hit. I just want to hit him. Vehicle targets. Long range. Direct fire. Really? Okay. I need a 40 or less. Come on, you can do this. Maybe you cannot do it. Did he get his rate of fire? No, because it's not 20 or less. So now it's the Germans again. That was just great. I missed my hit. I didn't make my rate of fire, so now it goes back to the Germans. Enemy action, advanced scenario. What does he do? He may back off the map. Let's see what he does. He rolled a 24, which is, now he's moving where? Left? Why is he doing this? Now he's moving this way. But, hold on. We need to roll for, Table terrain. Now he moved to a new area. We should have done this the last time he moved and we forgot, but we're going to roll because he moved into a new area. Table terrain, 1 die. Vehicle type, it is A. We roll a 7. It's in the open. So, now what about his facing? He moved left. So do we get a side shot? How does that work? What about the vehicle facing for enemy movement? What happens there, huh? What happens there? Enemy units. Enemy action, movement. Yep. Just says units moving to the right or left remain at the same range but move 1 zone clockwise. Well, which facing does he... Oh, okay. We need to mark him, first of all, with a movement marker. Moving marker? Moving. He's moving. Did you know that? And here's what I've been wondering. You need to roll for his facing. Immediately re-roll. Well, I didn't do this immediately, so don't tell anybody. But immediately re-roll for new facing and or terrain on the battle board placement table. Vehicle facing. Ready? For an SPG, 1 die. What does he give us? He gives us the front. Oh, criminy. He couldn't give us the rear, huh? He's giving us the front. All right, and now we have to pivot again, but we can still fire, right? So we have to re-up our actions here. What am I at time-wise? 1 hour and 22 minutes. So I want to get a juicy hit in. I guess I did get... No, I can't because I got a blown track. I can move the turret. He's not going to move the... I still need to do the actions. Okay, here we go. Pivot tank, no, because he's got a blown track. Change gun load, no. Rotate turret, yes, God, please. G, gunner. Rotate turret. 1 action, so he can't fire because he's rotating the turret. Commander's still doing nothing because nothing going on. And the loader is... He doesn't want to change the gun load. Repair main gun, no. Repair. I'm not hopping out and repairing anything under enemy fire, so there's that. Alright, so that's our actions this turn. We rotated our gun, main gun. We have a blown track, so we can't pivot the tank. So there's that. Now we go back to the Germans. What do they do this time? Enemy action, advanced scenario. 68. What is that? Okay, fire any tank. What does that mean? So they're just firing generally at our task force. Right? Enemy units fire any tank. Effect on your tank. Fire any tank. Selecting Sherman main gun fire. When your tank is a target, fire any tank. Power. Fire for tax target goes up for plane. Roll on enemy fire combat table for attacks not directed at your tank. Enemy fire... Why would they fire at somebody else? I don't know. Enemy fire combat table. Enemy fire combat table. So the action that they committed to was firing at... 68. Firing at any tank. Which is not our tank. So they would be firing at our task force. I'm not going to resolve that. You should. but I'm not going to resolve that for purposes of this example. Now let's see what the Sherman does. They fired at somebody, but they didn't fire at us, all right? What does the Sherman do now, the Firefly? Firefly is going to fire main gun. That is the gunner's job. Commander's going to direct fire. I think we're good, right? Am I missing something with the loading? I don't see an action specific to. I can see change, restock ready rack, or change gun load. That's not synonymous with reload, in my opinion. I guess I could read the rules and determine what they mean by that. But let's go ahead and fire. We need to roll to hit. We're going to hit this time, even though he's a long range. Vehicle target, base hit number 76L to hit, long range, 40 or less. Come on now. We missed it, 58. Are we getting modifiers here? No acquired target. Ooh, target moving. Remember he was moving? No, that's bad. That's not what we want either. Wait, target moving plus 25 to his base number? Is that what that is? So that would be not 40, but 65. We rolled a 58. No, that's the die roll modifier. So the dice would be not 85, but 100 now. Over 100. Geez, 100, 110. We didn't hit him. But you know what? For purposes of this example, I'm going to assume we did. Let's see where we hit him. I fudged the rules. I fudged the results to see if we can get something juicy. Let's see, just for giggles, if we get something juicy. We're assuming we hit him even though we didn't. And we need hit location table. We hit the hull. Oh, this could be good. And to kill, it will kill, or it might not kill. Forged in fire, let's see. 76 gun hit, normal, critical. Air direct fire. No, that's infantry. Get it right. To kill, 76L, here we go. To kill, armor piercing. Here we go, this one. Armor piercing. It is the front. It's a Stug 3, and the range is 42 or less to kill. Do we get a 42 or less? We did. We got a 31. I think we got him. We hit him in the hull. Yep. We got him. Knocked him out. Now, here's the deal, right? We fudged some things so I could get a juicy result for you guys. Remember to roll for the. Remember to keep track of your rate of fire, because you might get another shot off. We have a blown track that we can now try to fix. And I think we're good until we move into another, another sector or area. And then if we run an enemy resistance, do it all over again. You roll for enemy type, the range that they're at, any terrain that they might be in, if it's a vehicle or if it's infantry, etc. And go from there, run through your rounds, assign actions, etc. Until you make your way conceivably across the board here off the map through your exit area. Keeping track of fuel, keeping track of ammo expenditure, keeping track of potential possible wounds, kills to crew, all that stuff. There's charts for everything, and that's how you do it. So I don't know if I did this justice, but I again, if you play this yourself and really put yourself into it and place yourself in the tank, I think you'll get what I get out of it. I haven't played a ton of tank simulation games. There's Tank Duel. There's also Open Fire, which I got angry at and couldn't even finish. There's a video of that. But I guess the only thing that I can say by way of tank simulation, hardcore tank simulation, is Patton's best, and I think it's great. It might seem like a lot of work. Again, remember, it's been a while since I played this, so I'm rusty. But it's a lot of fun, especially when you get multiple enemy units on the battle board and in different types like infantry, etc. Really makes for a lot of flavor. So bear that in mind. And yeah, I would recommend this to anybody that is into tanks, is into solitaire games, has a little bit of experience wargaming under their belt. Again, I don't know. It's doable. It's doable, but I don't know that if you were hopping right into war games, you would want to make this your first game. You'd have to decide that for yourself, I guess. But check it out if you haven't, or if it's been a while since you played it, pull it back off the shelf, because it's a game that deserves love from time to time. Definitely a great game. So I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. Thank you guys for watching. It's about an hour and a half now, and who knows what I'll have next. I did get some stuff from M&P by way of ASL. I think an action pack and another action pack, and I think that's it. That's all I've gotten recently. My expenditures for war games have gone down for a number of reasons, but I do try and keep up with ASL stuff. I did not order the Manila Hassle, and I won't go into that. I'm not knocking it for anybody that wants to. Hats off to you. That's great. Not going to be ordering that one myself, because I probably won't see the table anytime soon or late. So why spend the money? All right, that's it. Talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching as usual, and leave any comments you might have underneath the video. Please subscribe, especially if you've stopped by a couple of times and you've just forgotten or haven't. It's a way of saying thank you, in my opinion. Hit the subscribe button. What does it hurt? No damage done, right? All right, that's it. I'm out. You guys stay safe.